I've seen quite a few comments of people talking about, do these players actually even respect Zwane? But it goes beyond Zwane because other people are saying they don't even listen to Shepard, because Mandla even shared a picture of Shepard talking to the players and most of them just looked like they were not interested. Matt was playing with the ball and others were doing whatever that they were doing. And then the question is, do they even listen to the coaches when the coaches talk to them? We will discuss that, and if that is happening, and if that is happening, how it can be stopped, and if that is happening, what is the cause even. So stay tuned, and also let me know what you think about this whole issue down on the comment section below. Hello and welcome to Khosi Nation Fan TV. I am Pilo, I am your host. This is where fans meet and talk about Kaizer Chiefs. I'm a Khosi Football Club. And we're looking into this issue of respect or lack of respect towards the coach. And where does it come from? It comes from the simple fact that we see Zwane being frustrated on the bench by the players not doing what clearly he asked them to do, right? Because he comes out after the game and he says, oh, the plan was to do this, but then we scored and then we relaxed and then we started playing in patches. We've heard the story so many times. And the question is, why does that keep on happening, right? And someone will obviously say, maybe there is a reason why they're doing that. And to me, I'm like, what could be that reason? And the first thing that comes to my mind is there are players in the team who are underperforming and they know they're underperforming. Everybody knows that they're underperforming and they're not being taken out of the team. And if you know ukuthi scheme sakho, you're not going to bother yourself like like by what's this thing, by pulling up your socks. People were saying a lot on Twitter talking about Uguti Matt knows that he's competing against himself, so he doesn't even care about improving his level. I'm saying what people on Twitter were saying. So to me, it okay to know Uguti. It kind of does make sense. Uguti, if you don't have competition, sometimes you just relax. But once there's competition, then you can pull up your socks. So it might not be necessarily ukuthi they don't respect Zwane, but they know they don't have a competition, and because of that they can do whatever that they want. It's a theory that's floating around, and that becomes problematic because we'll talk about how the coach can stop that, because it then impacts the team performance, because everyone who's playing, who knows ukuthi they are going to get picked in the next game, they are not going to perform any better, knowing very well ukuthi performance yabo actually does not matter that much. What matters is that they are going to get picked because they are so and so. That's a theory that is being floated around. But that becomes the thing. I was listening to Trent AlexanderArnold with Liverpool, who was saying that Klopp told him ukuthi, if you make a mistake, I will take it. It will be my mistake, right? I will just, so don't worry, just go out and play. And Zwane does that very like, he comes out and he says the boys played well and stuff like that. But to what extent does that become you shielding the players? And where do we draw the line? I'm shielding the players, or now I'm just letting them run wild? Because what I've heard in Liverpool anyway, he could protect them in the media, but then when he goes out there, he will go and shout at them, and then he will put them in the right way. Now the question is, does Zwane do that, right? But people will jump and say, well, he's inexperienced, that's why he won't do that. I don't think he protects them in front of people, and then he also goes and say, oh, you did well, my boy. I don't think he does that. I think what he does in front of the media, defending the players, I think that's good. That's what any coach should be doing, because if you go out there and say so and so did bad and they are not playing in the next game, that's not good. That's not a good relationship that you are going to make between you and your players. By the way, if you're enjoying this video, please do like the video. Yes, please like the video. It helps me to reach more people like you. So if you like the video, it spreads to more people. But I don't want to just say this is on Zwane Uguti, he's not doing and benching the players who are actually underperforming, because you are also talking about professionals, right? Professionals who need to play well to keep on being on the highest level. Because ngeke sithi Zwane is picking his favorites and whatnot. Yes, kukhona ukuthi uzoqhubeka pick abadlali that are not supposed to be playing. But also as a player, if your coach keeps on giving you a chance to play, as a professional, that says to you, wow, the coach believes in me and I'm going to keep on trying until I regain form. But when if week in, week out, you go out there and you underperform, knowing very well ukuthi there are people who are behind you, by the way, that we have already established ukuthi in your mind, you kind of know ukuthi they won't overtake you, then that means your mindset as a person is also not in the right condition as a player ukuthi why do you just not go out there and give it your all, not for the sake of the coach, not for the sake of everyone else, but also for the sake of you, because you have players here who are supposed to be playing in the national team Bafana, but their standards are so low currently that they are not being selected. So kwabona, they are not taking the job seriously then in that case. So it goes beyond ukuthi they are disrespecting us, the fans, they are disrespecting the coach, they are also just disrespecting themselves and the profession of being a football player or any other profession really, because if you are not doing your job well, then you are disrespecting that job, by the way. So we can put it on Zwane, but we can also put it on the players, because if we can talk about the coach's responsibility in this, you have a coach Ten Hag, Liverpool 7, Manchester United 0. Ten Hag, I mean, Ten Hag at United, he has made it clear, like he dealt with Ronaldo accordingly. Ronaldo is playing in Saudi Arabia now because Ten Hag was clear. You play here, you do what I say, or you go out. And Ronaldo ended up finding or forcing his way out of Man United. But at the end of the day, the players at United, they lost to Brighton, Brentford earlier on in the season, and they were outrun, I think, by 7 miles, which is like 9 kilometers or something like that. Sorry, in the metric system in America, no, conform. But anyways, they had to go out around the city of Manchester and run to cover the distance that they did not run when they were playing against Brentford. So stamping your authority, by the way, he also ran with them, Ten Hag, in that game to show Guti, you are responsible, but I'm also responsible. But the point is stamping your authority and saying this is unacceptable and you should be doing better, and saying if you don't want to deal with this, then you're out. Because if you deal with one player, make an example out of them, then they will know, everyone else will know, Uguti, there's no one who's bigger than the club, there's no one who's bigger than the coach, and there's no one who's bigger than the subscribe button. So please subscribe to the channel if you haven't. Moving on, what can Zwane also do? Because currently, right now, it's not like Zwane is slacking. Like, there were times in the season where you saw Zwane, this man just looks exhausted. And he has talked about sleeping at 5 a.m. because he was up all night just working, trying to figure out how to make the team play better. But now you're asking yourself, other players applying themselves to the same level? Because there is a person here who's giving you an opportunity to play. There is a player here who is also not just giving you an opportunity to play, who's also working hard to find a system that's going to give you a chance to perform in it. But when you are not doing that well. So I think ultimately, Mina, irrespect, they do say respect is end. But if we're not playing for a Kaizer Chiefs football club, you cannot put a respect on the person who's above you, who's your coach. That's also a problem. But I will also not leave Zwane out of this. If indeed this is the case, I'm not saying this is the case, but if indeed that is the case, players are getting out of hand, then Zwane should do something that will re-establish him as the alpha male, as the man in this place. I am your boss ultimately, because we cannot have players just do whatever that they want in the name of we are star players and no one can tell us otherwise. Bench the person if he's underperforming and make it clear there are standards that you have to meet if you play for Chiefs, or else you sit on the bench. He's kind of doing it right now with Usekota. We should see him doing it with more people. Otherwise, our players will just run around and not do the things that they're supposed to do. Thank you so much for watching. Leave your comments below. I will see you on the next video. Catch me at 7:30 for the live stream. And until next time, remember, equals Alpelumoy.